to 9 a.m. in Central African time. We get into a fitness and nutrition conversation as per every single Monday on the program. Many of us assume that taking a daily supplement automatically translates into better health, but experts say that that's not always the case. The form nutrition comes in, how it is manufactured, and how easily the body can absorb it all play a role in determining its effectiveness. As the supplement industry continues to grow, understanding the difference between taking or simply taking a supplement and taking one that works has never been more important. We examine what consumers need to know before reaching for the next bottle in our conversation with Andy Moore, Research and Development Manager for Food Grown, which is my personal favorite. And I'm not getting paid to say this, okay? I use Food Grown myself, and I can attest to the fact that they're really amazing. Thank you for the time, Andy. Welcome to the program.
Hi, Mmatsheko. Thank you so much for having me on the show. So nice to chat again.
Wonderful, wonderful to speak to you about something so important. Supplementation, it's become, part of the culture of, trying to be more healthy as human beings. But we've got to be really, really careful in how we select our supplements and vitamin supplements, as it were, and how we stack them during the day. I've learned so much over the last couple of months about the quality of supplementation as well. So let's talk about perhaps the biggest misconceptions as we begin the conversation. What are the biggest misconceptions about dietary supplements and their effectiveness in our daily routines?
I think a lot of people think sort of more is more when it comes to supplementation. When you're looking at the dosage on the bottle of what you're taking, it's much more important to look at the form that it comes in, meaning the form of the mineral, which compounds are used in that mineral, and if it is actually being absorbed by your body. Because it's all good and well taking mega doses of, let's say, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, but if you're not absorbing it, if it's not effective, then they say you're making expensive urine. So I think instead of just stacking and taking a million different things and wasting a lot of money, it's important to look at the efficacy of it, and how it is absorbed, and if you're taking the right things in combination as well.
Okay. And when it comes to, absorption is another thing that just makes everybody so nervous, because we like, is it the food I'm eating? If I remove gluten, will I be able to absorb the vitamins better? If I eat this, will I absorb better? And you mentioned such a fine example with vitamin C, for example. How important is nutrient absorption in us being able to determine whether supplements are actually delivering on the health benefits as promised?
Yeah, so for an example, like with the vitamin C, there's certain vitamins and minerals that complement each other. So you're actually going to be getting a bigger bang for your buck if you take certain things together, whereas it has the opposite effect when you are taking things that compete for the same pathways of absorption. Like, let's say, for example, calcium, taking that at the same time as certain other minerals can be counterproductive. Whereas if you're taking like iron with vitamin C, that like increases the absorption of the vitamin C and increases the absorption of the iron. So it's just about pairing things correctly, so that you are making the most of that supplement itself. So, and also taking things at the right time. It's not just about just inhaling a million different supplements, and at the same time as saying this, we've always got to look at what we're eating, which is the main one. I'm a registered dietitian, so I always push food and nutrition. But when it comes to supplements, it is something that's to supplement the lifestyle, to enhance what your health and all of that. And that's why this industry is growing so much, because there is so much that you can take. There's so many different categories of things that people trying to improve, so just try not to take everything all at one time. Just make sure that you're taking the right things for your personal lifestyle and for yourself.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But when should I start supplementing? because it's become such a popular thing, and and we're all on social media, so everybody's doing it from like the age of 0. When is actually the
Yeah.
right time to supplement? And what are the, just generally speaking, because are we doing it too early? I mean, I've seen people that are very young already supplementing. Is that the right way to go?
I think the supplementing term is quite broad. So if we look
Mm-hmm.
at it, it's more like the main reason to supplement is if you have a deficiency. So let's say you have a bone issue or you're not getting enough iron through, so you've got anemia. That's when you would actually medically need to do that. But then at the same time, if you're not consuming enough through your diet alone, that is an indication for adding in supplements. So I've got two little ones as well,
Mm-hmm.
and the toddler hates vegetables and all of that. So that's when I would give her an immune boosting supplement or like a multivitamin, just so that we're making sure we're filling those gaps.
Yeah.
That's when it comes in handy. But then it's nowadays, because there is so much out there and there's so many different categories, that you don't have to wait until you have a deficiency to supplement. Supplements can also take you to the next level with your health and your energy and those kind of things. So I think if you are just lacking in a certain area of your life, it's definitely good at looking at something to help supplement that too.
Okay, okay. And in just a moment, we are going to speak about food grown. I think we're all really just fascinated by the name food grown because it just sounds like it's a normal, part of the diet. But we're going to look at this particular form of supplementation, how it assists, and like I said, I'm not getting paid to say this, but their pre, pro, and postbiotic has changed my life. Okay, we're going to speak about that in just a moment. Andy Moore, Research and Development Manager for Food Grown, joining us on Zoom, and we really are unpacking the nitty gritties around supplementation. We take a break and return.
The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app, free to download, free to connect. Let the drums guide you through Amapiano energy and jazz sophistication on Jemba Vibes.
Somi Grammy-nominated jazz voice, Rwandan and Ugandan roots, born in the US but claimed by the African continent. But she's also honored Africa's Miriam Makeba. I'm South African. I can't talk to you without speaking about Ginger Me Slowly. In fact, that song has brought so much pressure on us South African men and how to treat our women.
It's not a song that I don't want to sing, but there are times when I feel like maybe I want to have a set that's a little more like, I don't know, that's sort of brewing in other emotional spaces. I still feel like, oh, but I should do Ginger Me Slowly. It's kind of a joke now with my band. I love that it's a love song that people want to hear and that it occupies a kind of warm energy center for me.
Feel the heartbeat of the African continent. Afro beats, jazz grooves, and dancehall fire unite on Jemba Vibes. Sunday, 9 p.m. till 12 a.m. Central African Time. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Every headline has a human side. The Journal with Mmatsheko Mosito on the African perspective.
21 minutes into 9 a.m. in Central African Time. We continue our conversation on supplements and the culture of supplements as part of our daily lives and daily diets, and really unpacking when to take a supplement, what supplements are out there. And we continue our conversation this morning with Andy Moore. She's Research and Development Manager at Food Grown, which actually has a full range of supplements, which we're going to find out about. But imagine just waking up in the morning with, a full bill of health, regulated blood sugars, from sustainably sourced foods and supplements. Wouldn't that be a great life? Okay, so let's see how we can achieve that as much as possible. Andy, talk to us about Food Grown. I rarely ever talk about products that I've had personal experience with, but I've had such a good experience. But talk to us about, how you manufacture Food Grown and what is available in the range.
I'm so glad to hear that you love the range as much as we all do. We're very passionate about all of the products. And I think you can definitely feel the difference when you're taking something that is food grown. So when we say food grown, what we mean is it's instead of being synthesized in a lab or using compounded ingredients, which are synthetic or artificial, we rather source ingredients that are like originate from food sources. So, for example, our vitamin C is from acerola cherry, which is a really high quality, high content of natural vitamin C. Our magnesium is derived from yeast. Our vitamin D is from algae. So these are all compounds that your body knows and recognizes. And that's where we say that the food form comes in more importantly than the dosage, because your body is recognizing it in the same way that would recognize dietary nutrition, so food through your diet. And I think it's quite an exciting development in the supplementation industry, because it's looking back at basics, going back to nature, instead of having synthetic compounds and lots of fillers and colorants and things like that. We are using as much natural goodness as possible.
Okay. And talk to us about what's in the range. Perhaps if I'm new, for somebody that's, I want you to speak to somebody that's new to supplementation, never taken a supplement in their lives, but they are getting advice that they should start for whatever reason, whether it's to boost their immune or a multivitamin is always a good place to start. What advice do you have for an individual like that?
So when you look at our range, we started in 2023 and we had about 13 products. Now we're up to about 43 products, so it's really grown. And what we started with was the basics. So we've launched a multivitamin, which is just something that you can take every single day. Probiotics. So as if you look at our range, we've categorized it into different health concerns or goals, health goals. So we've got digestion and GI health, we've got vitamins and minerals, brain and cognitive function. So if you're just looking into yourself, or you've seen your doctor or you've seen a healthcare professional and they've said to you, maybe you should try and take, your bones are giving you a problem, taking some calcium. So you can actually go into the categories and find things that solve your health issues in that way. But if I had to speak to, it's very difficult to say, like, to recommend to anyone what to take, because it would be so personal to what they need. But I would just say, to start with a good multivitamin. Taking a daily probiotic is really, really good. If you need immune function, we've got a vitamin C and we've got an immune complex as well. But omega-3s, those are really essential to anyone's health. But then we do have more specialized lines like the ashwagandha, which is good for focus and hormone function. And then we've also got lion's mane, which is a really popular one that people take for focus and if you're battling with concentration as well. So the range is pretty extensive, and I think you could say there's something for everyone.
It sounds like there's something for everybody. Over 40 different types of supplementation that you can explore through food grown. Where can we go to find out more information if I am looking to supplement here and there, and I'm looking to maybe even add to my stack? Where can I go to find out more information, Andy?
Yeah, so food grown is exclusive to Dis-Chem pharmacies, and we only are available in Dis-Chem. So the health consultants in Dis-Chem have been trained on the range, but if you want more information, you can email us, and I am one of the answerers of those emails. So if you have any questions, just want to know what to take, if you want to know if you can take certain things together, medications with supplements, we are able to advise you. We have a full-time pharmacist as well. So that would be info@foodgrown.co.za.
All right. Andy, thank you very much for the time. This is such an important conversation. People are walking around with all kinds of deficiencies, and we need to see how we can help ourselves to really meet our nutrition goals going forward. Thank you for the time. All the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Andy Moore, Research and Development Manager for Food Grown.
Look closer.